Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theories. Calafiori's dream is a return to Roma. Reported by various journalists, it's also Coppa Italia evening today. Look, I think I'd rather watch Love Island than choose a team to support for tonight's Coppa Italia final. I really would. I think it's a final between two of the teams that I hate the most, that choosing one of the two is like putting a gun on my head. Angelino, also some news on that. Angelino and Llorente, a duo which De Rossi has deliberately asked the Fredkins to keep. Now, we're speaking about clear-outs, of course, but Angelino and Llorente, this Spanish duo, excuse me, are two players which De Rossi would love to keep. I think they are two players which De Rossi utilised a lot. Since he became a Roma manager, they are two players which they've got their bad games, yes, they're not always consistent, especially Llorente, but when he hits his good day, Llorente is a very good defender which we wouldn't even be able to spend a lot of money on, and Angelino as well. I think Angelino's played really good games with us. I look at the derby, I look at that Bayer Leverkusen game away from home, this last game against Atalanta, he puts the spirit, and ultimately as Roma fans, I think that's one of the few things that I would love to see in every single player. I'm not asking for players to be Messi or Ronaldo's or Mbappe, because I know that that won't be possible. What us fans can ask the players, however, is to give it their all best. And I think Angelino has given it his all best in every single game. I think seeing his status and seeing his height, being a left back is very, very risky, but he plays really well. He looks very confident. His precision on crosses is really, really good. Oh my God, what is this? And also his sense of interceptions is also really good. So those are two players which De Rossi has asked for, and we will see if the investments this summer are going to satisfy him. Now, of course, the big topic of today, it's been reported by a few sources today, Calafiori, his dream return would be a return to Roma. Very, very complicated move, extremely complicated move. But I, as a Roma fan, would say that a player like Calafiori would be the base of my reconstruction. A player with his age, his span of improvement, and his span of attention, and his massive rise, because thinking that he was in our team, rejected by Mourinho and sent away 2 years ago, and now he is one of the biggest players in that Bologna team, which have accomplished a miracle of Champions League football, it means that he's evolved. His confidence is key. Thiago Motta has also shown us, and he himself has shown us, that he's very versatile, which is exactly what we need. And on top of everything, he is one of us. He's one of our own. He's a Roma fan. He's a Roma supporter. When he was very, 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 very young, he was a member of the Curva Sud. So he breathes these colours. He's a Roma fan himself. And in fact, you could tell because Bologna posted a video, kind of like an end of season celebrating Champions League video, of the entire Bologna team celebrating when Atalanta beat us a few days ago, because that meant arithmetic Champions League spot for Bologna. And in the background you can see that Calafiori, yes, was happy, but he was like, deep down, Roma lost, the team which I support lost, and I know that I want to see my team succeed. Of course, he's a professional player, that's not what I'm saying. But deep down he's a Roma fan, and you can tell, you could see compared to other players that his enthusiasm wasn't as high as the rest. Very complicated move though. But look, I hate the transfer window period, because sometimes it catches you out of surprise really well, and sometimes you build hype and expectations and then they never get respected, because it's that stage of the season where everybody starts putting random names on newspapers, headlines, and then you get hyped. And when you get hyped, you start believing in these moves and these news, and then they don't happen, and you end up being very disappointed. So I hate the summer period in terms of football. I love summer and I can't wait till the holidays, but in terms of football, I absolutely hate it, because these are things that unlike the support that we give to the team throughout an entire season, transfer window, decision of players, decision of general director, are all things that we can't control, are all things that we can react to, but that we can't have a say in. So that is ultimately not what we are here to do. Which is why reacting to transfer window news can be hectic, can be crazy. It drives you crazy because we will reach those weeks in July where we're literally going to see different names being linked to us every single day, and you don't even know where to start reacting. But again, sometimes we have to react to the news. Some of these live streams, especially now that we're out of the Europa League, we've got full weeks to prepare for these last two games. We've got a lot of time to focus on the news, what sources say about potential moves, and ultimately I'm here to react to this. But again, how is everybody doing? Don't forget to hit the like. If everybody in the stream right now can hit the like button, it would be absolutely amazing. Let me know your thoughts on a potential Calafiori return. Let me know if you want Calafiori to come back. Feel free to interact in the chat. Do hit the like button, and also subscribe if you haven't already. Get your friends and families to subscribe as well. 100 likes, in fact, 80 likes would be amazing. So please, let's hit it, and it would be great. The thing that I would say to start off here is, just as I said a few minutes ago, Calafiori is one of those player profiles that I would restart my team around, reconstruct my team around, yes. And I really want him because I think he's an incredible player. But there's a part of me which looks at this Calafiori deal and looks at how much he's evolved and improved, and thus I look at how much his price tag has increased, because Calafiori's gone from, I don't know, few little pennies to probably being around 30 to 35 million this summer. Anybody who wants Calafiori will have to spend 30 to 35 million. That's what great scouting teams do. Yes, I want to keep the players, but if you want to buy him, spend the money. I invested in him when nobody believed in him. I got everything out of him. If you want him, you pay him. Otherwise, I keep him. And that is exactly why Bologna this summer are going to flourish in terms of this, because they either keep these players or they either ask a lot of money for them, which is a win-win situation. So looking at the price tag makes me bitter. It makes me fuming. Because whenever I repeat, and whenever the word Calafiori comes up, you cannot forget that he was in our team 2 years ago. And that he was rejected by Mourinho, by Thiago Pinto. He was put on the transfer window because he wasn't considered good enough. He got sold to what? It was Genoa. Then he went on loan to Basel in Switzerland. And now he's off to Bologna. So you are telling me that I need to spend 30 million on a player which 2 years ago was in our team? Like, that is the definition of coglione. In Italian we say coglione. That's the definition of being un coglione. Sei un coglione. Un coglione sei. Because how on earth can you reject a player who not only was in your team, but was in your youth setup? You reject him. Oh, he's not good enough. Don't worry. My eye's good. I can tell he's not going to be good. I can tell you he's not going to be good. And then 3 years later, oh, you know what? Calafiori would be great. Let me spend 30 million on him. You must be joking. Like, you are an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. So part of me wants him because he's incredible, and I think he suits the team really well. He's so versatile. He's gonna suit De Rossi ball, and also he always says in interviews and press conferences how De Rossi and Calafiori have got a brother-son relationship. Calafiori loves De Rossi, and De Rossi loves Calafiori. Calafiori said this 2 weeks ago when he beat us. It was very hard to play in front of De Rossi because De Rossi for me is a father. De Rossi for me is the captain, the human being which supported me the most when I had those terrible injuries. So I think he would run back to Rome. And I think he would. I think if you offer the money to Bologna, I think even without Champions League football, Calafiori is going to run back to you because he loves you. And I really want this to happen. But part of me is going, don't do it. Because you will look like an idiot to world football. No, you will look like one of those idiots that the world lacks. You know, those absolute idiots that you'd love to see in your classroom to compete against because they're just idiots and you know you're better than them. The world lacks idiots like us. So for me, a matter of pride and a matter of respect towards us fans, yes, I want him, but I can't possibly be spending 30 million on him because he was in my team 2 years ago. You know, I will never get this. And you know what frustrates me is, the thing which frustrates me is that this concept, you know, had it been one mistake, I made a mistake, I regret making this mistake, I'm going to be better. The more I see the situation that we're in, and the more I'm like, we don't learn from our mistake. And I'm convinced about this. I'm convinced that there's somebody inside Roma which goes, let's not learn from our mistakes. And the latest rumor is very big. Everybody has heard in these past few days the rumor of Roma potentially sacrificing Bove this summer. I can tell you, as a matter of fact, sell Bove this summer. Wherever he will go, he will flourish. 3 years after, we're going to go back searching for Bove, but we have to spend 40 million on him. It's written in the Bible. It's written in the Bible. So before selling Bove and before going, I might sacrifice Bove because it would give me a bit of money. Think once, think twice, think 3 times. Look at the mistakes that you made with Calafiori. Look at the mistakes you made with Volpato. Look at the mistakes you made with Missori. Look at the mistakes that you made with... João Costa's going to suit this system so well. So how on earth do we improve the investments and the reconstruction? How do we improve as a team if the little gems that we have, we sell them to make money, and then 3 years after we're back searching for them and need to spend 3 times the amount of money that I sold them for? It's ridiculous. That it's not professional. And this is exactly what frustrates me. What happened with Frattesi as well? The list can go on. We had Frattesi, we lost Frattesi, we sold Frattesi, and last summer we were back searching for Frattesi. 30 million. Too much for us? Screwed. What happened to Scamacca? Scamacca was in our youth setup. We sold him. This summer we were back searching for him. Too much money. We didn't have the money. We got screwed. So I think it's about time to look ourselves in the mirror and go, you know what? I think it's actually time for me to stop this. Stop what I'm doing. Stop selling all of these young players and giving them for free. And actually let me keep them and grow them and develop them. Because where would we be if we had kept all of these players? From Scamacca to Calafiori to Frattesi, there are more, to Volpato. These are 4 players which in about 2 years are going to be considered next gen incredible players. Some of them already are. And this is where we're a Mickey Mouse club towards other clubs and compared to other clubs, because we're not serious about stuff. Is it a surprise that our youth setup wins every single league? Is it a surprise that our youth team wins every single league title? Is it a surprise, or is it just, oh well, it's just luck? No, it's not. Is it a surprise that we won it last year? Is it a surprise that we're top 2 teams this year? No, it's not a surprise. We've got a good youth setup. We develop a lot of players, and then all of a sudden we get rid of them. Bove is gonna get sold. Pizzilli's gonna get sold, and I wouldn't even be surprised. And then we're here reminiscing our past and going, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Why is Pizzilli playing so well at Aston Villa now? Let me sign him back. I am I struggle to understand, especially now that we still don't have a director of football. Now with the Bove news, Bove potentially be sacrificed this summer, and then us wanting Calafiori back. We are chaotic. We don't know what we're doing. The reality is that we do not know what we're doing. The people working inside Trigori have not got a clue of what they're doing. They don't. So it's about time to be more serious, because 8 out of 10 youth players we develop, we end up selling. And 8 of these 10 end up becoming stars. And this is a problem. This is a problem, especially for us who are not rich, and every single summer we're in desperate need of these players. It's about time we devote more attention and time to the youth setup, because otherwise we will just not move forward. So this is the way I see it. Again, do I think getting Champions League football could help even more? Yes, but I think Calafiori is one of those players who, yes, Champions League football will help because of the money, but compared to other players like Chiesa, for example, I see Calafiori running back to us. I see Calafiori running back to De Rossi even without Champions League football. Other players like Chiesa, I look at Kefrem Turam, which is being linked with us. These players are more complicated because you need to find, more creativity to things. But players like Calafiori, who breathe Roma, breathe red and yellow, breathe Romanism, bleed Romanism. When he was my age, he was part of the Curva Sud, whilst at the same time being part of the youth setup. Calafiori isn't Roma. Calafiori has Roma inside him. So if we prepare the good deal, which again, it's gonna be high, because this is the project that ultimately Bologna are following. Grow players, ask money for them. So don't expect Bologna to ask minimum 25 million. But it's probably gonna be 30, 35 million. And fair play to them, because they believe in players which nobody else believes in. And we should learn from this. So without 25 to 30, maybe even 35 million, you're not getting Calafiori. Champions League football will help. Otherwise, get them out of your pocket and invest them. It's going to be complicated because we can't just spend them on one single player. We need at least 5 to 6 good players to compete in 2 different fronts next season. Otherwise, we're back going in the same direction of I can only go all in one league, in one tournament, and then I get to the end of the season and I'm exhausted. We need 5 to 6 quality players to add on to our starting 11. Without selling players, exchanging players. Keep the starting 11 and add 5 to 6 quality players, which can intertwine with starting 11 players, which have the abilities of becoming easily starting 11 players. The rest, Awar, Renato Sanchez, Korsdorp, Christensen, Rui Patricio, Belotti, maybe even Tammy, I keep on saying, Zaleski, sell them all. And if we don't get UCL, I've said this, we will need to end up sacrificing one player. If we don't get Champions League football, we will need to sacrifice one between Zvelor, which I don't think is going to happen, so one between Ndika and Bove. If we get UCL, then I don't think we need to sacrifice anybody. If we don't, then it takes more balls. So yeah, that's the way I see it. Or another thing, which Bologna will never do, because Bologna want the money. But one thing that I would do is offer an exchange between Calafiori and Zaleski. That would be golden. Like, that would be literally scamming Bologna. You know, like how you go in front of the Trevi fountain and you've got people that would be the gold. If Ghisolfi comes in and manages to somehow get Calafiori, spend no money and send them Zaleski, then that deserves a statue. That would be the ultimate scamming process. But Bologna are smarter than us, so they will never accept this. I keep on reading the word Mourinho in the chat. When will we move on? Can I ask, I'm going to ask this to us, Roma fans, and to Mourinho fans who are still implanted in the base of Roma. When will everybody move on here? Every time I glance at the comment section, at least 8 out of 10 comments say Mourinho in them. Are we going to move on, or are we going to be buried in this Mourinho graveyard? Like, are we? Because I can't do this anymore. Like, I genuinely can't be reading comments saying Mourinho was betrayed, Roma betrayed Mourinho, basta porco cane, basta. He's gone. Move on. Us and whoever follows Mourinho wherever he goes. Move on. Move on. Go away. I really like your content when you stream. I will look them most of the time. Thank you very much, mate. I'd like Angelino and Llorente to stay as well. I still want the 2 new fullbacks. What do you think of Chiesa? Champions League, yes. No Champions League, no. Any news on Paolo? We need to see. It depends on Champions League. A lot of Paolo's future depends on Champions League. Why would Calafiori join Roma over Juve, especially with Motta in charge as well as... Mate, you've got a Coppa Italia final in about 15 minutes and you're not even a Roma fan. Why are you here? Like, you're either obsessed with me, you're either obsessed with us, or you're not a Juventus fan and you're a Roma fan. You've got a Coppa Italia final in 15 minutes against a team which is probably one of the most on-form teams in Europe. If I were you, I'd focus on that final rather than be here. Like, otherwise you're not a Juventus fan. What's the news of Bove? We already discussed about that. Scamacca, Frattesi, Calafiori, all of them were Roma youngsters. This hurts. Watching the final tonight, look, I'd rather watch Love Island. I'm not even joking. I'd rather watch Love Island than choose a team from between Atalanta and Juventus to support. I'll probably have a glance at it. I've got an exam tomorrow, so I'm probably going to study a bit. I'm not a massive fan of Coppa Italia. I would love to win it, but I'm not a massive fan of the tournament. But if I really need to pick between the two, I obviously have to go with Atalanta because they deserve it more. And because Juventus is Juventus. Atalanta's up there, but nothing beats Juventus. I mean, Lazio in final would do, but other than that, Juventus is the worst team. To be honest, Simo should become Roma manager at this point. Right, lads, I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna go 8 because my family's hungry. I'm sorry if I didn't manage to read all comments. Let me know in the comments down below. If I didn't read your comment in the live chat, comment it in the comment section and I'll respond or read it later on. Let me know your thoughts on Calafiori and all of this. Is it a smart move? Is it a good move? Don't forget to hit the like. 80 likes would be absolutely amazing. In fact, you know what? 100 likes. Absolutely amazing. Also, let me know your predictions for tonight. And I am subscribed. And I'll talk to you soon tomorrow. We've got Genoa on Sunday. So let's focus on that game. See you out.